Hey, good evening, everybody. Tonight we have two awesome teams. Basically, have your sponsor and one of your admins playing here tonight for a Friday night NGS stream. We do have Runamok versus Dad Force tonight on the docket. I'm actually glad that I made this because I thought the stream was an hour later and I just happened to catch it by mistake. So we are up and running. I do apologize for a little bit of the delay for the people that did come in and start viewing. So just getting everybody caught up here before we start talking about the bans that happened. Runamuck did decide to ban out the Dragonshire. Dad Force banned out Sky Temple. We are first going to Battlefield of Eternity as that was Dad Force first pick. Man, that's tough to say. And then we are going to be seeing Tomb of the Spider Queen coming up next. Also, for anybody that is listening, I encourage you to stick around a little bit after. We are going to bring kind of the admin and bring Rory in here as well to talk a little bit about BlizzCon and what to expect. For anybody coming up there, I understand that there's a booth that's coming, so we are going to see a little bit of that too. Okay, guys. So let's start talking a little bit about the draft that we are seeing. We got ETC and Malthael being banned out. Again, no real big surprises there. I think on this kind of map, ETC has a lot of pressure in the objective area, and Malthael burns down real quick. We do see the Valo being the first pick on the side of Run Amok, quickly followed by the Greymane and Garrosh on Dad Forced. So again, you're taking a great tank and two of the Immortal Burners on each side. Arthas and Rhaegar being quickly followed up by Run Amok. So you do got a little bit of a good frontline presence that can slowly AoE burn down people and get some roots off, as well as a Rhaegar who has that power of the Ancestral to bring somebody back when on the edge. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some real good ancestral heals coming off at the objective points. We are seeing the second round of bans being picked up. Tyrael being banned out by Dad Force right now, and Stukov being hovered for Runabuck. Will be interesting to see if they do ultimately go with him. I think would actually be a real good ban. He got a lot of good places to put silence for zones here because there aren't a lot of areas that people can walk around and stay in the fight and stay in the objective safely. So the Stukov ban, I think, would be a pretty solid choice right now, and that is what we do see being banned out. So no real shockers on that part. Li Ming and Uther being picked up. So the question will be: is Uther going to be the solo heal? I'd imagine that may be the case. If they do pick up somebody else, I would anticipate it to be maybe a Lucio. We see the Li Ming, who is just great because if you are able to get the other team to play defensive, she can just kind of casually throw in those orbs whenever she wants to and kind of burn down the immortals that way. So she's great at defending on her team, being able to throw the orbs to keep the enemy at bay, but she's also really good to play as an aggressor whenever they are defending, where somebody like Greymane may have to get in there to really do the max amount of damage that he wants in Worgen form. Li Ming is a little bit of the opposite. She can kind of hang back and just throw those orbs over walls and get some work done from a distance while they think that they're fending off that defense. 14 seconds left here for Run Amok. For their final two picks, I expect to see at least one more damage dealer and then their solo laner. So probably a Sonya or a Zagara or something like that to really put strong top lane pressure. Medivh Lunara. Uh, Interesting. I mean, Medivh is great with here in here, these portals in and out. Lunar also has some real good burn potential that she can burn, the immortal down. Hey, Uninverted, welcome to the channel as well. I appreciate you stopping by here. So final pick, I'd anticipate to be the solo laner here on the side of Dad Force, unless they want to make their Greymane the solo laner. But if that would be the case, I don't think he's going to have a chance against Lunara, to be quite honest. So Artanis, I think, has a much better chance. Sure, he has to sit there and continue to attack to keep his shields up and keep everything moving, but at least he can swap Lunar, maybe get her out of position, get a couple tower shots off on her, or ideally even get her behind that wall. But I think he's a real solid pick. But Medivh's shields, I think, are going to make or break this game, and how well he's able to, keep his team protected with the Rhaegar heals as well. So I think they're both real solid comps. Let me see, eyeing them both up. if I had to pick a team based on comp alone, I would probably say it is going to be Runamok. I think that Artanis, if he gets any kind of swaps and team fights, Medivh's going to be able to get them out right away, unless Uther can automatically follow up with that point and click stun. If not, eh, you know, then yeah, they're going to die. But I really don't see Medivh being, slow in the upkeep in that way. So it'll be interesting to see, kind of what goes on here. So we are loading up in here real quick. Trying to get everybody into game. Once that gets in, we'll start introducing the teams, going through a little bit of the strategy. And like I did say, for anybody that is just joining in, stick around after. They're going to be talking a little bit about BlizzCon. Going to be getting that all kind of set up. And so we'll take it from there. Okay, so why don't we sit here and introduce the side of Runamok first. So we do have Rain on the Rhaegar. Good luck, have fun being thrown out by everybody. I like that. Good sportsmanship here. Vito is on the Medivh. Escaflowne on the Arthas, and the Lunar is being played by Aurora. And we actually have the Vala going the solo lane, which is a little bit shocking to me. But Voodoo is playing the Vala. On the side of Dad Force, it looks like everybody's positioning bottom lane. We see Tufts. Yeah, that's gonna be how I pronounce that. It's on the lane thing. We do have the Uther being played by the Velvet. Ben is playing the Greymane. Artanis is being picked up by Zad, and that obviously is Garrosh as Rory. So Rory does sit there and throw off, trying to get his early game pull. Doesn't quite get it, but is able to get there and get the throw anyway. So Arthur's basically coming in. The swap from the Artanis is missing. Again, right now we do have Vala top lane, going to be able to get some solo soak for at least a couple minutes while Artanis starts rotating himself up there. Again, Rory manages to get the pull on the Lunar, but sadly throws the minion behind him. Again, that's the kind of the danger of the Garrosh is, if you're going to make that kind of throw in a giant minion wave, you're going to pick up a minion a lot of the times when you don't mean to, since you cannot target it. So a lot of the times whenever you're on that Garrosh, it's good to just make that call, clear up a wave a little bit, and then try to do the throw and pull. But ultimately, the Uther is able to keep Rory pretty well healed up. Greymane just obviously poking when he gets a chance, and Li Ming throwing out the orbs as well. We do see Arthas landing pretty solid roots each time, but then again, Dadfort has been pretty well clumped every time. Lunar putting in her wisps, trying to make sure she can keep vision on that area of cover, but they clear that up real quick. We do see Medivh going up trying to scout just in case Artanis is hanging around, but obviously he is not. He is still top lane, forcing Voodoo to go back and go to the Sippy Cup with 10 seconds left before objective spawns. That could really hurt them, because now if Voodoo needs anything done during this objective period, he is going to have to go back to base and then walk his way back in. So objective has spawned, obviously in the fixed locations for the first rotation that you would expect every time. We do see Dad Force basically engaging, saying that they want to go in and really be aggressive here early game. Get a lot of play going on in the Immortal Burn, and as you can see, it does pay off for them. They have such early game burn potential with that Greymane and Artanis. It's going to really be tough for Runamok to keep up. But they are going to give it their best, man. I mean, they're burning. They're going to get most of this shield down, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough unless the Artanis can hold it. Man. Wow. Real well done there. So we do actually see Runamok taking that first pickup. The Artanis was just enough to hold them off from burning down the Immortal all at once. So real solid plays by Runamok. I think that was a good call, bringing their tank in there to get that work done. So again, top lane is just going to continue to poke, but we do have the objective, the Immortal pushing into this top lane, taking away the first tower. Maybe the front wall as well, but I don't think too much more is going to get taken from there. Rory lands a good pull, but no throw at that point for anybody on the side of Runamok. So front wall completely down in this bottom lane, thanks to some real good objective play, primarily on my opinion by the side of Arthas, who is kind of just hanging out mid, considered going up to help his teammate, but ultimately decided that is not the right call and heading back down to bottom lane. So again, no camps being picked up yet at this time. Nobody's really in a good position to, make that happen. Nobody's been pushed up well enough of either side of a team, whether it be the top lane here or the bottom lane down here, tries to make a play for it. The other team's going to obviously know what they're doing and could be able to zone them out of it relatively quickly. So everybody on even talent tier advantage right now. Runamok may hit 7s slightly before Dadforce gets that opportunity to. Uther obviously did have to go all the way back, and we do see the Rhaegar coming up here to kind of help Voodoo off with the... Yeah, he's going to get away, no problem. Get away with the Vala. So that it does give a little bit of an advantage to this bottom lane for Team Dadforce. The question is, are they going to be able to make anything happen from that for the first couple seconds? Vala did have to full back, leaving Rhaegar up top to deal with a very low Artanis. I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with Rhaegar, at least at this health. Rhaegar is going to be able to just use those lightning shields to continue to put a little bit of damage on it. And we do see Artanis decide to go back right as objectives get ready to pop here. So I think getting full mana, full health is a good opportunity. 7's being picked up right now by side Runamok. Dadforce trying to do what they can to get at least a little bit of early game burn going on, but Arthur's doing the same thing he did for the second half, and is just putting a little bit of protection in there and a little bit of a nuisance that way. So again, relatively even right now, a little bit on the side of Runamok ahead, but only by about 600 HP or so, so that's honestly nothing. We do see the Uther getting in a real bad position, going to be caught out. His team starts rotating down to try to help, but no such luck. 7's now being picked up on the side of Dadforce as well. Let's see, is it going to be a kill? Yes, and Rain does go down on the Rhaegar. So we did lose Medivh, we lost Rhaegar, and we lost Uther in that little bit of a brawl. Greymane getting very low. Lunara could make the play on him, but decides not to. That indecisiveness gets her killed. I think if she would have committed to it earlier, maybe been able to take down the Greymane and then get out, or at least do a 1-for-1 trade. But kind of that back and forth didn't really do her any favors. We now see Rory zoning out Voodoo at the bottom lane on the Vala. So we do see an Immortal swap this time, where the Immortal is going to push for the side of Dadforce, going into the front wall. And now Dadforce taking a very slight XP lead. So they were able to make up that difference with a couple kills that they landed that fight. So again, it's still a real close game. I'd expect it again, another low shield Immortal pushing in. I don't expect too much to come from it, especially with nobody having 10s or anything like that. So I'd expect maybe just the exact opposite of what we saw down here, of this front 2 towers going down in the wall. But that flip was really well done. But as we talked about a little bit beforehand, these Medivh portals are going to be clutch and make and break game. So the Immortal is not going to be able to finish out that fort, but it looks like Dadforce is still keeping a little bit of pressure on, trying to retreat, but they're hoping maybe to get a Lunara pull out there at the last minute and maybe secure one more kill, getting them a little bit closer to 10s. So they do have about a 30% so lead or so on XP. Could potentially pick up 10s beforehand, but we are going to see obviously Runamok follow behind them very quickly. Runamok positioning to try to take that last camp. It is still leashed, so it's going to be okay. Going to keep that health to the minions down. We see Greymane fall to the Rhaegar. Runamok is going to pick up this top camp. That's going to help put a little bit of camp pressure on it. Now XP is going to be almost dead even, so I would anticipate 10s to be picked up at exactly the same time. But these ultimates going to be thrown out. Yep, within about a second of each other. So let's see, it's kind of a good break in time, so let's go over the ultimates that were picked. On the side of Runamok, we do have Ancestral Healing as anticipated. Leyline Seal, which has been the popular choice of Medivh's recently. Leaping Strike for the Lunara. Army of the Dead, giving Arthas just a little bit more sustainability and staying power. And then Reign of Vengeance on the Vala for CC on her team. For the side of Dadforce, we have Divine Shield on the Uther, of course. The Warlord's Challenge for the Garrosh. Artanis is the Suppression Pulse, maybe trying to get a little bit more of those blinds on Lunar and Vala, take them out of the game. Go for the Throat on the Greymane, so no Cursed Bullet. Not going to put the pressure on the Arthas that way, but instead he's going to hopefully be able to jump on that back line. and disintegrate on the Li Ming to add just a little bit more damage on the side of her team. We do see Greymane go down. We see Garrosh go down. So this is a great invade on the side of Runamok. They were able to push in and do exactly what they wanted to do. Steal this camp, keep pressure going on against the side of Dad Force while they continue to clear objective. We do see a bottom camp pushing in here, though, for Dad Force to kind of counteract whatever they're going to be dealing with top. But again, this could be a real good immortal for the side of Runamok if they can continue to keep them zoned out here and they get a favorable land on the objective. So not a bad land. I mean, it does go north-south. It would have been better for them if it would have landed on their side, but this does give Dad Force the opportunity to try to put a little bit of a defense on. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think they almost would have to try to, land some kills, which they almost do, but a great Ancestral coming out on the Arthas, allowing him to get back in the site. Lunara gets a little bit of a shield protection from her team. Gonna maybe escape with about 200 health. Oh man, with about 20 health. Yeah, she gets away. Artanis, though, I do not think is, or Arthas, I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to be as lucky if they continue to pursue him, but those Medivh shields really do come out. And look at the Immortal. All it's going to do is take a touch from Voodoo, and there it goes. So yeah, they picked up a couple fights, but ultimately, now they lost the objective, and this is going to be a tough spot, because it's a full shield. During that fight, they really should have tried to send somebody bottom, to try to at least whittle down as much of that shield as possible so they don't have to deal with the whole thing. We do see Runamok that does have to position bottom. They're going to try to maybe take a fort and a fort here. They're going to push in bottom lane, get that bottom fort, leave Dad Force to, go in and defend out their top lane solo. Go Dad Force by Cedric. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing you in chat, but sure, go Dad Force. They're going to have their backs against the wall a little bit, though. They are going to have a little bit of an uphill battle now with 2 forts going down. Possibly keep pressure, too. They are going to have to back and back real fast. This front wall for keep is going to go down. We do have Lunara's Whisper that was called out and is now being recalled for another positioning. So they knew that they weren't coming down that way. Dad Force does manage to get back in just the nick of time. Save their front keep with 1 tower still standing. Obviously, 30 seconds left on this bottom camp before anybody can pick that up. But this may be a good opportunity for Runamok to basically jump in, take their camp, continue to keep lane pressure going, and really force Dad Force to, play the defensive game and not be able to do any kind of aggression on their lanes. So we do see the camp going down but not picked up. They're going to have to pick this up soon because if not, Dad Force is going to come in and take it. So it's not exactly the time they wanted it to be picked up. They were probably hoping to hold on to it for the Immortal and get a little bit of a last-second push that way. But good call grabbing it now before the Dad Force was able to invade and potentially take it off you. So Medivh doing good old Medivh things here, just continuing to zone. Obviously in his Raven form, he is not able to take any kind of damage or healing or anything like that. So he's just keeping a good eye on Dad Force, letting his team know where they're at any given time. So they know when it's safe to take camps or not. Lunara dives in, gets a nice Medivh shield, gets thrown though by the Rory, and then gets a taunt too, allowing Medivh to put some damage on, but a great ley line sealed on the side of Medivh, allowing her to get out and get to that portal. So again, we do see 2 ults go out on the side of Runamok. We do see the leaping strikes go, and we do see leyline seal go off as well. And get thrown, but no kill secured for either team. And here we go again. So the third objective is going to be pushed up. 13's on everybody's for both teams right now, so nobody has a real clear advantage right now in this game. Except for if you really want to make an argument, you could say Dad Force has more potential XP on the board. If they can land some kills and get some secures. Oh, another fantastic Ancestral heal thanks to the Medivh shield at the last moment, allowing that to pop before Lunara goes down. So there's that power of the Medivh shield, especially with Ancestral on a Rhaegar. You really could combo it real well to allow for that delay. But here we do see the Holy Wolf come out with a... Oh, it doesn't matter. I would say we saw the Divine Shield on that Greymane, but he wasn't able to get anything down. And now Dad Force is definitely in a real bad spot. Zad tries to do whatever he can to get a little bit of last-minute damage. We are going to see Li Ming get rooted, probably going to go down to the Vol as well. And that is a team wipe on the side of Dad Force. Oh, man, that was rough. That was a rough engage, especially after everything they did to stay in here. So this is going to give Runamok the opportunity to soak lanes, get a little bit more pressure on while they clear the Immortal, and hopefully pick up 16s a little bit sooner than their opponents. Dad Force, I mean, I think if I was them, I'd try to get that camp right now. Leave maybe just your Gray Main to whittle down as much as he can. But there's really nothing they can do to stop this objective from being pushed against them other than, you know, to mitigate the damage and stop that bleeding as much as possible. Okay, so here we go. We see objective is going to be go top lane, has about a 50% shield, is going to easily be able to take down this fort. And a great fight on point. Let's see. Uther goes down, going to try to use as much of his trade as he can to keep people healed off. But it is going to be a 1-for-3 trade favoring Runamok. Runamok gets a lot of people low, but nobody quite drops. So that is, again, you got pretty solid healing coming out of your Rhaegar who did fall. But the Medivh shields to kind of counter that and you know, add just a little bit more protection for this team in these fights is real good. And then you also see Arthas has his self-sustain with his Army of the Dead too. So I mean, on a whole, it was just a great opportunity, a great team fight from both sides. So Li Ming throwing out her beam, not going to do too much, you know, just waggle it around a little bit, put a little bit of scare and pressure on the other team's mind. But at this point, they knew they could do whatever they wanted behind that wall. It was relatively safe. So Healing Fountain is going to go down, but that is going to be it. I'd imagine that this keep is going to be pretty safe. And indeed it is. Runamok right now just kind of sitting there clearing waves, getting XP. Again, you don't want to force something if you don't have to. If it's not a good time on the map, you know, it's okay to do nothing, so to speak. So they did basically that. They sat there, they cleared up a little bit of bottom wave. They're going to now take this bottom camp to keep pressure going on. We see Dad Force thinking about doing the same thing top. Going to grab that top camp, hopefully try to get their first fort out of the game out of this one. But it's going to be difficult because now, again, they are still down to talent tier advantage. They're going to closely get up on it. But, you know, we're 2.5 levels away from Runamok hitting 20. Again, still a lot of XP on the board that if Dad Force is able to win a solid team fight, and honestly, I don't know how you do that other than potentially focusing the Medivh first. You know, really take out his CC with Leyline Seal and take away his shields for the other team, because there's been a lot of times that they've been real close at taking out some people. But those Medivh shields give just enough time for the Rhaegar ult, that little bit of a delay that it has, to really pop off. We do see the thumbs up tag going off for Dad Force, letting Medivh know, hey, we know you're here. It's cool. You know, welcome to the party. So Medivh is just going to kind of hang out with them, let his team know where they're at all times, especially since they're traveling as a 5-man right now. Medivh is able to very safely scout out what's going on. Kendo Hots, great. Yes, it is indeed. It is a great match. I hope I captured your excitement there, buddy. Okay, we're just gonna kind of hang out with Medivh here until there's some action on this side. We do see camps being picked up, obviously, by Runamok, and we do see the Immortals now spawning. So the question is if Dad Force doesn't win this, it could be real trouble. Because, you know, this keep is going to probably give Runamok the opportunity to hit 20s now inside of your base. It's going to be a rough spot. So, I mean, if you can burn down as much as you can, that's good. But luckily for them, it does spawn on their safe side, so they are able to play a little defensive and make Runamok come in here and pick that fight. Which isn't something that they want to do, but for Dad Force it's great, because this is the time to fight. You're on even talent tiers. Yeah, you're at about a 4% difference as far as damage and health and all that kind of good stuff. But that doesn't matter near as much as a talent tier. And you know, if you don't do that, if you don't pick this fight now, which they do, and they get that Medivh, you know, you're going to really be in trouble. There goes the Rhaegar. So there's the two big healers out for Runamok. I think what kind of killed them is the Vala was kind of hanging out top, doing a little bit of wave clear. Yeah, so she wasn't quite with her team, giving Dad Force the opportunity to engage, and they continue to do so. Greymane barely avoids that, so a good dodge by Ben. And here they are. Now they're going to try to finish the Immortal and get their first support out of the game out of it. So real good turnaround with both of those healers down. They can really get a lot of pressure going on right now. Lunara out of position, going to drop 2. Again, Lunara, not exactly the best time to dive in there, girl. It's one of those things that you know that's going down. You're not going to save it. So by you trying to dive in and do that, not exactly the best call. So here we do see the Immortal coming to push in to provide a little bit of pressure. Luckily, there's still no catapults against Dad Force, so everything's still on pretty even footing. They don't have to worry about going back. They can make a full concerted team effort with this, knowing Lunara's damage is out. So really, Vol is going to be the only one to really put any kind of solid damage in on this Immortal. That is going to push down the Lasens, at least for the next 18 seconds. We do see Zed basically heading up. Looks like he wants to try to get a good pick, a good party bush off of this. So I anticipate to see him dive in and do the swap. Yes, and he lands it. But sadly, Vala is just in a great position to get away and walk away from it. So he did get the blind off on it. The ult wasn't quite enough to kill the Vala. Lunara is up right now, but we do see Medivh still down. So we are going to see the first keep of the game taken by the side of Dad Force, now up on even levels. Dad will win, don't you worry, Smithvale. Yeah, it looks like, you know what, looks like Dad is really turning around. You know, they were on their heels, they were in a rough spot, they picked a real good team fight, and that is helping, but we do see them in a little bit of a tough spot right now, everybody getting real low. Greymane gonna drop 2. So it's a 1-for-3 trade, 1-for-2 trade. 28% health. Are we going to see Ming just try to orbit out to finish it? Yes, we are. Oh, man. The taunt on the Rhaegar. Rory versus Rhaegar. Rory going to drop to the Vala. Oh, man. That was greed at its best. But at 19%, I can't blame him. I probably would have stayed there, too. So, great counter push. Great first objective win for Dad Force. You know, really being able to dive in there and make something happen. So now we do see Top Keep go down, sadly, on the side of you know, Dad Force. So they are going to have to deal with that and counter that. The problem is, are they going to have enough time? We see what's it called? We see Runamok positioning in with the Medivh portal. They may try to just come in here and end it right now. They got 8 seconds for the Greymane before he comes up. No, I think they're playing it smart. They're going to basically get out. They were going to try to take that last healing well, but if you can take their camp, that's great too. Now, they almost are forced to backdoor continuously to basically just keep somebody at base, because if you leave 2 catapults or 1 catapult there too long unattended, you're screwed at 19% health. You know, so they really have to play smart. They can't afford any kind of team wipe, or really to lose too many people, because at that point, Dad Force can just determine, look, we're jumping in. You know, we can just sit here and rush core. Heck, if they even go for objective as a full team right now, Dad Force can sit there and come in and say, look, we're just going to soak the damage from the tower and we're going to try to take the win, which it looks like is what they're thinking about doing, and Medivh is going to probably come down and try to scout that out. Is he see? No, he doesn't see him. He doesn't see him. Oh, he was just a hair too late. He was just a second too late. Oh, they start hearthing back. If Medivh would have swung just like a hair over, he would have caught the tail end of that. So we are going to see the 19%. Is it going to go? Is it going to go? It is going to go. Great first round. Real solid first round, man. On the side of Dad Force to make that comeback against Runamok. Oh, man. That was an exciting game, man. That was a real good. I told you, Smith fail. You did. Epic fail on my part, man. I bow to your greatness. But look at that. I mean, it was. If you could say, you know, is there a game that went back and forth as much as that, with real good plays by each team? That was an exciting one to watch. I like games like that. I like ones that aren't just blowouts. At any point in time, it could be anybody's game. You know, so I enjoyed that one a lot. So again, now we are going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, a little bit different of a map, a little bit more soak dependent. We should see a little less, what's it called? A little less team fighting, a little bit more team soak until the objective pops. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams kind of do this. And it seems like every game that I've been casting recently, it's been this way. It's been kind of a 2 lane and then a 3 laner. Um, so let's get this invite to game. Invite to game. We'll try to get everybody here set up. So, well done, lobby. Again, for those of you that did just join, I think last time I announced this, we only had, I don't know, 4 or 5 people in game. So I will be the first to sit there and say that I think Rory's over here. I think Ben's over here. And I think Zad's over here. Fuck, you're Medivh. Yeah, man, Medivh was rough. But yeah, sorry. Anyway, what I was saying is the last time I said this, we were getting ready to go into match, um, and what's it called? I don't think everybody was on here that was on here earlier, but we are going to be talking a little bit about BlizzCon. We obviously have Voodoo and Rory both playing in this match, so we're going to be jumping in, talking a little bit about what to expect in that regard. And kind of see how that goes. Tops on our side, team. Wait. Okay. Okay. Good. Sweet. Okay, so to confirm, we are heading to Tomb. This time, Dad has first pick. Do we have... Ready? Okay, let's just get one line. Dad always has... Dad gets... Okay, so we do have Runamok is ready, and we are seeing Dad Force ready up as well. Alright, guys. Good luck, have fun. And we will get this started here. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I have everything set up. Whew. Man, I really like that last game, man. I still can't get over it. That was a solid game. That was a real solid game. So we see some bans. Do we see any respect bans? That's the question. Rory was sitting there saying, "To hell with the Medivh." Do we see the Medivh get banned out? And we do. A respect ban right away. And here everybody calls it respect. Respect indeed, my friends. Respect indeed. We do see the Garrosh ban as well, so it looks like a little bit of respect being thrown at both sides. Obviously, the Garrosh caused a lot of problems for him, as did the Medivh for the other team. So, ETC being the first one picked up, again, a real solid tank right now. I like what I'm seeing in that regard. Let's see how they counter it. 39 seconds. Something like this. I mean, you kind of want a good solo laner. It's going to be a longer match. I wouldn't be surprised to see if we see a Nazebo picked up at any point in this match here. But I've been wrong in the past. I'm trying to think of, maybe a Joanna. I think Joanna's really good here, but obviously you don't have to pick her up too soon. If you think she's going to be able to make it through that the first round of bans here. Or the second round, I apologize, because the side of Runamok will not have another chance to pick her if they don't now until the next ban phase. But I think it's pretty safe. I agree with that. I think Rhaegar is more critical to pick up right now. I think you made some real good plays with him last game. If you can grab him again right now before they potentially respect ban him out again, that's a smart move. Bum, 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 bum. But the question is, will it stay? I don't know. So, the Gul'dan pick. Real solid wave clear. If the spiders do start pushing in, he's going to be able to get in there and do and do a lot of damage. Runamok wasn't ready for the backdoor surprise butt sex. Goddamn, I'm just getting caught up in the chat. So we do see the Morales and Vala picked up. Morales is a real good healer. The thing is, she has a lot of really good counters. And so Runamok has three opportunities right now to determine what they want to do about that. You could just pick up a Zeratul and just mess with her all game. Yeah, she's a little bit better than she was now that she's not mana dependent. Um, but it's still a long ways off from saying that she's maybe tier one healer. I think honestly Stukov's going to be the best pick as a healer. I still like Malfurion personally. Uh, Rhaegar's a good healer. I fucking hate Rhaegar, but he's a good healer. Um, I will always hate Rhaegar. He was my first mastered hero, like level 10, back in the old system. I hate him. I hate him so much. Uh, Smiley, you look like you're on Greyjoy. Oh God. I am not a dickless bastard, hopefully, but that's the first I've heard it. So thank you. Smile has two good hands. So does Euron. Oh God. Uh, dickless. Um, hold tryouts. Let me turn this shit off. We can deal with all that kind of shit later. We'll just put on the NGS channel. So again, the bands, the Tassadar band being picked up. Obviously, we're still waiting to see what Danforth goes with, and they go with the Arthas. Again, he's a pretty solid tank right now. Um, what's it called? It's one of those things that he has a lot of good clear. Being able to land a root on the Morales would be deadly. So taking him out of the game, especially now that you know your opponent plays him, isn't necessarily a bad call. 33 seconds left on the next pickup. Uh, we do see the Muradin and the Zarya picked up. Man, Zarya is great on this map. She's gonna be taking all kinds of damage, and so you can get those shields up, and you can just start throwing, your orbs out on the Morales. That's gonna just keep her out of position, keep her playing a little bit safer than maybe she wants to be playing. I like it. I like that pickup a lot. Murden as well, basically able to keep himself a little bit healed up. Zarya keeps the shields on him. Gul'dan has a little bit of self heal too with his life steal. So everybody on that team has a little bit of self sustain, a little bit in that regard. Um, so it's a pretty safe team. I would still expect to maybe see their solo laner picked up, unless they want to let Gul'dan do it, but I doubt that. I think you want Gul'dan rotating with your team. I think kind of doing a 0-4-1 and leaving your mid to rotate between top and mid and just leaving somebody bot is the way to do this map. And I think you want Gul'dan with you there because he's gonna be able to do that fastest. So Tyrael Melthiel. Tyrael has been real. Oh, Euron is the uncle. Oh, I'm sorry. Theon Greyjoy is the dickless bastard. I'm sorry. I got my Greyjoys mixed up. Uh, in that case, I will. In that case, I will come a comparison. Yeah, thanks. I like him. He's an asshole, but he's a good guy. He's a good character. Anywho, so we do see the Malthael Tyrael picked up. Tyrael's great on this map because there's a lot of little choke points that once he gets holy ground, he really can dictate where the other team goes. Downside to that is that you have to wait for that to be able to be a viable strategy. So until then, you're kind of just relying on your solo positioning and sanctification at 10. But once he turns on, he's a great play. Melthiel is obviously going to probably be their solo laner. Going up against the Zagara, I think Zagara could potentially just wreck him. Sure, he can clear the creep pretty easily, but Zagara has just a little bit of wave, and as long as she avoids like the creepy, spooky line of death, the skill shot coming out of the Melthiel, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. So while we get to the loading screen here again, because I do see a couple more people have jumped on board. Again, stick around after. We're going to bring in Voodoo. We're going to bring in what's it called? Rory, talk a little bit about BlizzCon, what to expect for those of you that are going. I believe they have a booth. I believe they're making some merchandise basically that they can sell you guys, get you guys out that way, some shirts, all that good stuff. So hopefully we're going to get a little bit more details on that. I personally will not be going, so those of you that are, first, have fun. Secondly, I'm jealous and I hate you. Uh, I will just be a lone virtual ticket man at home. But maybe next year. Maybe I'll bring out the kiddo and we'll have a good time. Okay, so this time, you know what? Let's introduce Runamok here. So Aurora, or Aura, or however you pronounce that, I apologize on the Zag. Rain is going to be the Zarya. The Rhaegar picked up by Vito. Escaflowne is going to be the Muradin. And our supreme leader is Voodoo on the Golden. We see Zad on the Malthael. Ben is playing the Vala. We see Velvet on the Morales here, Rory on the ETC, and then that, of course, is going to leave Tyrael on Tofts. I cosplaying Arlong cosplay. What the shit? Okay. So we do see. Oh, this is a fun match to cast, man. I'm enjoying this one. Dad Force looks like they're going to be making a little bit of a push bottom, understanding that the Rain and Zagara are going to be pushing in there too. Maybe trying to get that early game pick against the Zag. Aurora's going to go down in a real rough position here, so great team push that way. Start as a 5-man, get that rotation going. Great move on Dad Force. We see the Murden jumping over the wall, helping himself get to the mid lane a little bit and continue that soak. Top lane, Gul'dan and Rhaegar basically just kind of hanging out, leaving their wave to get a little bit of ammo off of those front towers, but not too much otherwise. And so now we're starting to see a little bit more of what we were anticipating. Obviously, Zarya staying bot just to keep that XP soak until Zag to get back, but I expect her to start rotating up, which she isn't going to do right away. Which is then in that case going to leave Dad Force the opportunity to keep a 4-man here, maybe do the same thing again. No, they are not. They just have the Morales and the Tyrael going to come down. Tyrael understands, it's a 2v1 with the Malthael. He's not going to be able to counter push that with the Zag, so he has to respond to it as he did. Yeah. So the small lanes does make her gank much more reasonable, and we did see that happen. So we see the Rory basically setting up here for the party bush, waiting it out a little bit. Now going in to go clear up some waves, pick up some of those spider butts to turn in later. Dad Force holding on to 23 at the moment, 17 for the side of Runamok. Neither team close enough to even think about really turning in. The way I like playing this map is I wait till we get 50. There's no point in taking your teammates out of the fight any earlier than you have to, unless you got a real safe, easy turn in. Other than that, the best thing you can do is just keep gathering them and try to get picks. Avito! He gets out there. Luckily, Wolf Form saves him. He's able to get out of there no problem. Keep hold of those 9 butts that he's holding on to. Murden sitting here mid lane, giving them just a little bit of an extra XP soak. Has 10 of himself. He looks like he's going to come down and maybe help try to... nope, he's going to turn in. So we do see Zag again starting to spread her creep pretty strong down here. Tyrael and Malthael doesn't look like they're quite able to keep up at the speed at which they want to on that creep. But for the most part, doing a pretty good job keeping their lanes in check. Especially because of that early game gank that we did see go off. Top lane, again, we do see the rotation starting to happen a little bit out. Ben, Rory, Velvet making their way between mid and top, keeping a little bit of pressure on each lane. The Muradin is still holding the mid lane, just trying to keep that soak up by himself. I think they almost need to think about doing something to get this rotation a little bit better. If that Gul'dan or Rhaegar step out of place a little bit, they have no good means of escape other than Rhaegar's slow. So I think the Murden, if he can find a way to be with them, that would be ideal. Or even worst case scenario, put the Murden bot and bring this Zarya up mid to keep shields going. So a little bit of a team fight here going on. Looks like nobody's going to go down from it, but a little bit of pressure put on each side. But we do see 56 coins now being picked up on the side of Dad Force, so it looks like they're going to want to turn in the second they get that chance. And we do have only 3 away on the side of Runamok, so they may be sitting here thinking they're going to start, really anticipate that turn in game 2. Oh, did I not? I apologize if I didn't do that. We should get the right overlay on here now, as much as you guys like seeing your own chat on screen. Okay, so oh, Vita gonna try to turn in. This could be dangerous. With the whole team of Dadforce coming in on him. Rory just a hair too late on that power slide in, thanks to the basically the map getting in his way. But oh man, Morales could have probably just stayed in there and kept that turn in going. Looks like she's gonna try it now. You know, has relatively good zone control from her team, but she opts not to. Vala able to get all of hers in time. Um, Oh man, if Muradin were to try to go bottom, I think he'd be able to get that turn in and secure the first objective for his team relatively easy. We see Zarya trying to make that happen right now, thanks to the vision that they are able to secure. He is going to be able to turn in top. Yes, sir. There goes that first objective wave. So we do see Runamok able to get the first set of objectives, going to be pushing in here against Team Dadforce. Top lane pretty well pushed at the moment, so Spider's going to come right up to that wall that only has one tower standing with no ammo. So I anticipate that top wall to go down, maybe the healing well as well. Probably the fort will save if they can get people up there in time. If not, that fort's going to drop too. Mid lane's going to get cleared out relatively quickly, because it is a little bit farther back. We do have Vala already on it, as well as Ethereal. I don't anticipate anything coming out of that one. Bottom lane, because of the Zag push as well, we may be able to get a fort here too. And definitely going to be able to get a fort. Oh man. There goes that fort. Okay. So we do have fort going down, bottom lane, fort still standing top lane, and even the health well, so great job defending that out there top. Mid lane obviously still standing in a really well position too. First team fight coming out, pre-level 10s on the side of Runamok. If they can just stay alive just a hair longer, then they can sit here and make this turn. Obviously Dadforce taking the fight now while they have a little bit of a chance on being on the same talent tiers. But that is going to change. They really need to start working on this creep. Sure, it's not the worst case of creep spread that I've ever seen, but it is enough that they do have vision on points. They do have vision all around it. It's not a bad spread for what they need to do. So 6 seconds. It looks like Dadforce is going to probably want to get some sort of turn-in pressure going on, but they have to do so really carefully because we do see 10s picked up on the side of Runamok. So, oh, wait, let's see what goes on in this fight, and then we'll go over the talents. Nope, Tyrell's able to get out. Oh, okay, so we do see Expulsion Zone being picked up by the Zarya, who did just pop that. Ancestral healing on the Rhaegar. We do see the Nidus Network picked up for the Zag, the Horrify for the Gul'dan, and Muradin obviously is going to take the Avatar. About half of a level until Dadforce can join them. Is the game supposed to be full screen? Yes, it is. I'm sorry, there's 2 minutes delay. I missed that accent. It should be now if you're looking at it. So this mid fort is going to drop. Real good pressure again from Runamok. They're really doing a great job of pushing up this lane. Oh, Toph's getting out with his 26 coins, but barely. Muradin wants to chase him down, knows that he can't. Good expulsion zone again, going out with the Zarya, keeping her team in there with no chance of them getting back in. But man, you want to talk about close. That Tyrell's real close. So we do see Dadforce able to pick up the set of objectives. Again, not going to get very far because everything's so pushed into their lanes. But it does at least buy them a little bit of breathing room to start picking up their 10. So we do see Stim Drone being picked up. We see Rain of Vengeance, Mosh Pit, Tormented Souls, and Sanctification. So there's a lot of good alts on the side of Dadforce if they are able to basically get into a team fight and get them all grouped and engaged. I mean, you power slide in, you know, land your Sanctification from your Tyrael. Nobody can stop your Mosh. At that point, you just start wrecking face. You know, and you can set that up with a Rain of Vengeance and Stim Drone your ball as well. I mean, there's a lot of good opportunities here. But again, right now what they're really just trying to focus on is, hey, look, let's get our lanes pushed back out. Maybe try to clear this Nidus Network if they get an opportunity to and realize that it's there. But other than that, they're just going to have to look for a team fight pick real soon because they're going to be down a talent tier if they don't. And again, Look at this creep. They are having to work on that too. Oh, great mosh, great mosh. And there's the invulnerable as we talked about, basically keeping him in there. Horrify goes out. Not a whole bunch happens with it. Ben gets the stim drone. But can't get in there. Can't do too much more chasing. But Ifal is gonna basically start working on that tower. Zarya with about, we'll say 40% energy, is gonna basically just try to poke at it a little bit and try to get the ball off of it. But good ETC lands 3 people able to take out the Murden and take out the Rhaegar, allowing them to turn in once again. And now the Spiders gonna be in a little bit better of a position. Obviously, almost up to the fort wall. Top lane, mid lane, they're gonna walk right into the fort as well. And bottom lane, they're going to be real close too. So this is kind of where you wanted them last time. So the last time it did give them a little bit of a buy. They were able to get in here, get into a pretty solid position, push their lanes back out. And now is what they're looking to do is really start to put some damage down on structures. We do see the Zagara fall basically being encapsulated by 4 out of the 5 members of Dad Force who are going to put a real strong push on this bottom lane. Try to counter out some of that pressure that they faced earlier and get a little bit on even footing and open up the map for themselves. Hey Queen, how's it going? You are listening to an angel right now, so I appreciate that. Let's see, 30 gems being held by the Tyrael, so I mean, I'm all for them making this push. I think they're in a great position to do so, but he has to be careful to, the second things start going south, he needs to get out there. He is holding almost all of the gems for his team. If he drops, that could be problems. But if he stays alive, he almost has, let me see, 30, 41, 44, 50, 52. They almost have another turn in just off of this. So really, he needs to get those turned in. He needs to get those turned in. Right now, you can almost guarantee that Runamok is looking at him as a high-value target. They need to find a way to get this off him. Zagara obviously not able to get as much pressure down lane as she wants to, I'd imagine. So we're working there. Unaverted, I appreciate the follow, buddy. Thanks for joining. We do see, looks like a little bit of a party bush for the boss bait, but they are not going for it. I think they're hoping that the other team thinks that they are. But no, they're wise enough. They know, yeah, see, now they've checked it. Now they know it's a party bush. Because they saw somebody in the bush, they checked the boss is still stationary. That's going to be it. They say, nope, we're not falling for that shit, we're out. So, good attempt for Dad Force. Sadly, not quite enough to get it done, but they are going to have enough to turn in now if they can get everybody off. No, the Zagara with a good stop on the ETC. So they are going to try to turn this into another fight. Horrify goes off, quickly followed by an Ancestral Heal, keeping him alive. Zagara is going to drop, though, losing her 6 coins. We see Morales dropping as well. So right now we're at a 1-for-1 trade, but no healer for the side of Dad Force, no healer for the side of, what's it called, Runamok either. ETC Mosh goes off, doesn't hit anybody. So we're at a 2-for-2 trade now. Both tanks still standing, and actually 2 tanks on each team and DPS on each team. Oh, Murden loses 40 coins. Oh my god, that hurts. Luckily, Zarya is able to pick them back up and get away with about 200 health. Oh man, lucky pickup for the Zarya on that side. But now we see Rory has to turn in if he wants it. But the question is, does he want it right now, or do they want to hold off a little bit and wait for their Melthiel to get back up? It looks like he's going to go back and clear. I think that's the smart move at this point. You can't risk being out there solo while the rest of the teams are coming back up. Runamok trying to position themselves. I'm surprised Voodoo and Rain didn't decide to go back and just heal back up, knowing that you have a little bit of time to turn in. But I think Rain is just trying to play the safe game, get the 52 turn in. This is going to be enough for an objective push. Oh man, so we see this happening out. So Dad Force is going to basically try to position themselves, clear up this bottom giant wave push. You're already going to have spiders there. Last thing you want is even more mercs to push in on that too. Zagara pushing up middle lane just a little bit, so the spiders are going to stop about half map where they would at the beginning anyway. All the forts are down, so I don't anticipate too much going to happen at this point, but you are going to push back lanes and buy yourself some breathing room for later on in the game. Should the event that Dad Force turns in. We do have a little bit of a fight developing here top lane. Zagara basically at a distance, throwing out all of her bane lanes, trying to put some DPS and force them back. She does a good job. We do see Runamok saying, okay, we're going to start rotating now mid. Spider's now coming into a good position to start putting pressure on this mid lane. It looks like they're just trying to zone for it, trying to keep the pressure off of that Spider to maybe start taking mid keep. Expulsion zone going down. Fallen Bushi, but hey buddy, welcome to the stream, appreciate you tuning in. Mosh Pit going off with the ETC, but a Sanctification going to go off too to keep the rest of the team alive while they try to counter that. We almost see a full team wipe. Is Murden going to escape? Is he going to be the lone survivor? I don't think so. He's walking right into him. Jumps on top. Oh, buddy. So yeah, he's buying time. You know, it's a smart move. If you're going to go down, you know, leave the objectives to get as much work as they can down at the same time. I would expect boss to maybe be considered at this point. Try to get boss and try to get spiders to push with it. They are going to have almost enough for 2 turn-ins because they only need 15 or 16 more here. So that would leave them with what? 63? Yeah, that would be almost enough. So we do see boss coming up, but you know, Run Amok is all going to be coming up as well, so they're going to be in a good position to defend it. Boss does have to go through the fort and 1 tower. Tower has no ammo, but it's going to at least stop there for a little bit. And then a whole another second wall. So, you know, Dad Force, a little bit of a rough spot. They are missing this mid keep, so they are going to have to play a little defensively, and they're going to have to really push this in. If they can get somehow to this keep wall and maybe get keep with this boss, that would be a real good position for them to be in, because they do have spiders pushing with it too. So if they can just defend this boss a little bit longer, really force them to, you know, put something. Zagara in a rough position, man. I understand wanting to flank, but you know, you don't really have a good out. Your Nidus is pretty far. You'd almost be better with your team and just throwing DPS out. I think she would have been a little better suited to go Maw with this. You would have anticipated they're going to be in a team fight. You know, right now would have been a prime spot for the Maw too, but again, hindsight's 2020. I understand Nidus is the more popular of the 2 picks. So they are going to see a keep go down, and this could even be, we could see some core damage here. Boss still has about 25% health, down to about 20% health. Oh no, Boss has 50. That's the spider I'm looking at. Yeah, we're definitely going to see a little bit of core damage here. Runamok is going to have to do some real solid defense. Voodoo cannot afford to go down. He does not. He goes back into base, gets a little bit of heal back up on his side of things. We see Boss on core with about 30% damage left, and at the same time we still have spiders pushing in bottom. They may get a bottom keep 2 out of this if they aren't able to secure the win right now or core damage. They do not. We do see the Tiro coming in, uses his sword to get out, lays that holy ground, forcing them to go a little bit out of their way to get out. Great fear on the Particle Dan, securing the kill on the Meltiel. Rory coming in with the Mosh Pit, getting 3, getting the Zag, the Rhaegar. Here comes the Invulnerable. Oh, the Power Slide on Mosh Pit too. Because obviously now 20s have been picked up for the side of Dad Force Gaming. So Run Amok really has to sit here, wait for their team to get back up, try to soak, get those 2 levels back. But here's going to be your problem. The 4 members of Dad Force up, guess what they have? 73 coins. They need 65 to turn in. I anticipate spiders coming in again real soon. I don't even know if they have to wait for the Melthiel. They could do it right now. He'll be up by the time it reaches them. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're not going to wait. That's a smart move. You got top keep pressure already coming in. Your Katas are nowhere close to being pushed in against you. From the mid lane. This spider is going to walk almost all the way there. The other one will clearly take the bottom keep if you guys are unable to win right now. So at worst, you're at a 2 keep advantage to the 1. So real good turn in. Here comes Melthiel up right now. He's going to be able to quickly join his team whenever they engage in a team fight. Looks like they're going to try to buy a little bit of room for mid. Everybody's saying nice 2-0 Dad Force. They are calling it now. And you know what? You guys are on a 2-minute delay and you're calling it. You're not even seeing what I'm seeing. You know, but, you know, hey, it's not over, man. It's not over. As long as Run Amok can play real solid defense, they know they're going to lose this bottom keep. So don't defend it at this point. Clear up that mid. You know, don't lose all 3. You still have a little bit of advantage mid lane. If you lose that advantage, then you are in a rough spot. Spider's going to fall. It looks like Dad Force is determining if they want to go back, play a little bit safe, maybe party bush, Nope, Rory's just going to basically position himself, try to clear a little bit of wave, keep some vision off of the side of the Zagara, and go in here. But 20's now picked up for both teams, everybody on even footing. This is the time to do it. Nice Morales, nade to confirm that Zag kill before. It was a good nade. Yeah, I mean, this has been a solid two teams playing tonight. I mean, it's been back and forth. Each team has had their advantages in both rounds, and even though it's not looking great for Runamok right now, just being that they're down two keeps, they're not really in that bad of a position. They don't have enough to turn in, so again, I wouldn't even attempt it. Especially this late down, you don't want to be caught channeling it out of position. But if they can get one or two kills on somebody out of position, that could be game. It's going to come down to whatever this next team fight is. Both team have an easy lane for victory. The spawn timers are going to be a little too high that I don't think anything's going to be able to be done if somebody loses a team fight as far as defense is concerned. This is it. Dad Force wants the party bush. Zagara checking every possible bush and basically stealth area with her abilities. So playing real smart, basically trying to make sure they know what is going on at any given time. Dad Force does have a little bit of pressure from camps in the bot lane and the mid lane. And they are going top to position for maybe boss. Yeah, looks like they're going to try to do it. Looks like they're going to try to win off of the boss. I think they have plenty of time to take it. Runamok is going to be coming in. I think they know they're there, especially with the murder in there, but they can't do much to defend it. Man, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. I mean, short of Runamok just turning and forcing a team fight now and wiping Dad Force, and then taking care of the boss, there's nothing they can do, because look, we still got Giants and a Catapult coming in this bot lane, so there's going to be core damage while you defend. You're now at the point where you have to defend two lanes, and a boss, and a full team. So, I mean, this is going to be it. Yeah, look, they're leaving boss, core damage being taken. This is going to be GG's, everybody. Good Horrify, basically trying to keep his team alive. Core still has its shield. Ben drops. Velvet drops. So, no, because Cesario drops, Rhaegar stays alive. Rory gonna come back in. Do we see? Oh man, yeah, it's not gonna be enough. Good 2-0 win by Dad Force tonight. GG's by everybody. So again, I think that was an exciting series, guys. Yeah, I don't think you could have asked for two better ones. I like both teams here. They were real close in skill. I'd like to see them later fight. I believe both of them are going to be playing on Saturday. Not the full teams, but you will see it's the admins versus captains. So we will see Voodoo playing. We'll see Rory playing in that regard. So let me see if I can get these guys into comms to talk a little bit about BlizzCon here. So, okay. I'm in comms. We'll see if they come to join me. I'll do man, but again, real good games. I liked what I was seeing from both sides here. It couldn't have been closer. It was a real good showing tonight, and I get excited for a lot of the games, but man, I was excited tonight. I like this going on a lot. So let's see if we can summon them to comms here. At Voodoo and at Rory to casting lobby 1 for BlizzCon talk. GG's, guys, by the way. So let's see if we can get them in. Just give them a minute. Obviously, they're probably debriefing with their teams, going over everything that happened. I'll send him a message here too. Hey man, FYI, casting lobby. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Rory?
Yeah, it's pretty good. How you doing?
Good, good. Welcome to the stream, man. That was a solid game, or solid two games. A little bit in a
Yeah,
tough position early game one, but managed to swing back the comeback, and then, kind of back and forth for both of them. Both you and Voodoo's team put on a pretty good showing.
yeah. Pucker factor was a 10 for sure.
Clenched buttholes all the way, no doubt about it. But it was an exciting game to call. I mean, the chat was significantly calling for Dad Force the whole time. So you had a pretty good viewing audience that wanted you guys to win. So it was
Nice.
it was
That makes me
interesting to
feel
see.
good.
So it looks like we're still waiting a little bit for Voodoo. I'll give him another minute or two here. Uh,
Uh, I don't think he's actually going to be coming.
Oh, okay. In that case, cool. So, anyway, I was mentioning a little bit about BlizzCon talk. I understand you guys are going. There's a booth, maybe some merch that people are going to be able to pick up. Why don't you give us just a little bit of a rundown about NGS and kind of the presence that you guys are anticipating on having?
Yeah, absolutely. So NGS is kind of the up and coming amateur tournament, and at the moment, it's one of the higher popularity ones where we've gotten to a point where we've become trending, and it's brought a lot of new faces to what we're doing here. And then with the sponsorship agreement that we've worked out with the league and everything, it has come up as an opportunity for us to have our own merchandise booth at BlizzCon through my employers, and so
That's awesome.
it's actually a really solid opportunity for us in terms of what we can do for the league in terms of financial growth.
Yeah, that's awesome news, and I do see that Voodoo has joined the lobby here. So first off, let me backtrack just here. Voodoo, great games. Exciting back and forth from both teams. Before we get back into any BlizzCon talk, how'd you feel about the games?
Uh, we're a little disappointed. I mean,
Well, naturally. I mean, they were tough losses, but man, you guys played a
the first
strong game.
the first map, I think we were up for most of the game, and then I don't know, just let things get out of control. But
Mhm. Yeah,
we're learning. I mean, we haven't been together forever, so there's still some things we need to work on. But
yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was, and again, just coming from a third party caster position, it was exciting to watch. I mean, you guys, I think were close both matches entire way. There was a couple times I think it could have shifted, so I think well played by both of you. Uh, but anyway, we were talking a little bit about the league, a little bit about BlizzCon. Talk to me about it. How do you feel? The excitement obviously is probably there as we get closer. Roy was talking a little bit about the sponsorship. Now being able to have a booth set up, all that good stuff. So, what are your thoughts?
we're like super excited. I don't even think we thought any of this was possible, especially so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Having Rory join us as a sponsor has been like absolutely amazing. So big thanks to you, Rory.
Yeah, man, I love
Um,
it here,
I hate you because you just beat me, but in terms
dude.
in terms
That
of the rest of it,
both of those games could have gone either way.
I know they're super close. But no, we're super excited. Like having the booth and having some presence at BlizzCon is going to be like a lot of fun for us. We're very excited to go and do that and
Yeah.
inter- interact with some people. Hopefully,
Yeah.
get some more teams and interest in the league and stuff. So
Yeah, and speaking of interacting with people, I mean, I heard that you guys were maybe hoping to try to grab a group photo with people, things like that. Is there anywhere apart from the league Discord or anything like that that you guys anticipate reaching out to people that are going to BlizzCon or maybe attending and want to, meet you guys, say hello, meet some other community members? What would be the best way for them to continue to stay up to date as BlizzCon approaches?
Rory, you
Well,
want to introduce?
yeah, first of all, Discord is going to be the best way to do so, and we've been posting on Reddit, and we've got a Facebook page that just recently launched up. I'll let Voodoo touch on that a little bit further, and that's going to be announcing a lot of our news and what we're going to be doing just around the scene in general. But we do also have some things in the works that we're not quite ready to reveal yet that are going to allow for us to get a little bit more advertising space
Hmm.
and then ultimately get the word out to the community as a whole. And one of those things we've already kind of announced for our finals this season. We've worked out a deal so that our matches are actually going to be shown on the launcher for Heroes of the Storm. So that's
Oh,
going to be a
awesome.
little additive. So It's pretty good, and we're happy that it's growing this way. But yeah, Voodoo can tell you a little bit more about the Facebook aspect because I've never played on Facebook before.
All right, so Vito, I guess we'll turn it over to you.
Just throw that at me, hey? Okay. To be honest, Archangel's probably more in charge of Facebook.
Okay.
He's thinking about things he wants to do on there. But I mean, it's just another outlet for us to reach people and keep everybody in the loop. I know not everybody wants to check the Discord that has 1 million comments a day, but it's just, yeah, I think we're going to be posting a lot of similar posts throughout all our social media.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you're following, one or a couple of them, that's probably the best way to keep in touch with us.
Awesome. Well, then I don't want to pry into too many of your secrets, guys. So I guess I'll kind of leave you guys with that. But any final thoughts about the match, about the community, about BlizzCon, that you guys may want to bring up while you got a little bit of viewerships here before they all abandon me to their wonderful nights of HOTS. I guess I'll leave this for you guys for some final thoughts here.
Yeah, I got one. Voodoo. I think it was Aviato who was playing Medivh. Fuck
Yeah.
that Medivh, dude. That was so goddamn irritating to play against. I hated every second of that.
Yeah, man, that was
Pretty
some
good.
crazy Medivh play. I mean, those shields and I was even sitting there saying during the cast, the pairing between the Medivh and Rhaegar was just fantastic. I mean, you'd get that shield off buying enough time for that Rhaegar ancestral to come in. That was a great combo and very, very well executed.
Wasn't enough, though.
I hear you.
Honestly, it just came down to the fact that we were able to get a pick on Medivh twice and then snowballed, and then the back door barely worked. So,
oh, yeah. If we had been there like 5 seconds earlier, probably could have wiped you guys. But
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah,
It
we
was
saw we actually saw Medivh going through the little vision of the minions, and we thought that Medivh had scouted us, and they were like, "Oh shit, no, they didn't see anything. They're going toward the camp. Go!"
No, you guys will very much have to watch the VOD. I said the same thing. I'm like, oh, Medivh's gonna see him, and then when I saw him veer just a little bit towards Dad Force's side, I was like, oh, he's gonna miss it. He's gonna completely miss him. It was like literally a hair off. Oh, it was so terrifying, but it was a good moment for sure for the game. But I guess I'll leave us to you, man. Rory, any last final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate everybody joining in and watching the cast. It's been a real honor, kind of joining the league and being able to do as much for the league as I have. And it's not all for nothing, Everybody shows a bunch of love, and the amount of support in this league is just insane. So keep it up. We love being here. We love doing this, and it's only going to grow because of you guys. So keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome. Well, you know what, guys? Real strong night. I'm looking forward to. I believe I'm casting both of you guys on Saturday for the admin versus captains game. I assume
we have to put our differences aside for that.
I was gonna say I assume both of you are cheering for the admins.
I hope so.
I hope I can get over tonight by tomorrow night.
Yeah. So it'll be and that's what 7:30 Pacific, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. So again, anybody that's on the stream now wants to catch these two gentlemen again tomorrow, basically playing for the same side. This is the place to do it. Come back here. You should hear for quite some good times. Have you guys determined the captains that you're playing up against yet?
Yes, we have actually. I'll bring the list up. Hold on.
Awesome.
I have to scroll up because that's a thing. Where'd it go? Okay, so the captain's team is consisting of Chris Yee from Number One in Innovation, Kozer from Illusion Esports.
Oh, nice.
We got Great Hari and Dallying Pig, and Captain Wedge from Division C. I'm not as familiar with the teams. They're just slipping my mind because it's been a long day. But
yeah, no. I mean, I recognize some of those names. It'll be
Great Hari is from Clouded Minds, I think, and then Wedge is from Durathan's Couch, and then Dallying Pig, I think, is from Frank's Furters.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with quite a bit of those teams, especially Kozer. I've scrimmed against him a couple times. Real strong player, so I think you guys will be in for some good fights. So again,
he only knows how to say the words one trick.
Oh, he knows a couple other words too, some very colorful language. He's a good player, but man, it is an entertaining night if you ever get the chance to play with him on a team. That is for sure. But hey, man, again, good games by both of you. It was a lot of fun to cast. Hopefully get a chance to see you guys have some rematches in the future. Would love an opportunity to do that because it was a real exciting night. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. And while I won't be at BlizzCon, I'll be there at Spirit with you guys. And so good luck for everybody attending. Safe travels. I know we still got a little bit of time until that, so as Rory and everybody said, stay tuned to the Discord and the channel for as stuff keeps appearing. So again, thanks guys. Appreciate you guys jumping in here at last minute.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Hey, take it easy, guys. Have a good night.
You
Yeah.
too.
And then again, for all of you guys, thank you for tuning in and viewing. I really appreciate it. I didn't get a chance to say thank you to the followers that did join me here. So Zad Hots, Kendo Hots, I appreciate you. Velvet Under, Bushi, I think I said it. Zad, awesome job. Thank you very much for the cheers. I really appreciate it. And supporting the channel and hitting my October goal in one cheer. I said it low, but great job from you. I really appreciate it, man. But again, guys, come back here tomorrow. Admin versus captains should be for an exciting night. For one of their fun Saturday evening ones. But again, thank you guys all for catching in this stream. You can catch me doing more NGS streaming and various other games throughout the week. And I'm happy to play with any of the viewers. So take it easy, everybody. Have a good night. Have some fun with the HOTS. I'll see you around.